Oh, Spencer here, coming at you with another figures review. Today we have got the Marvel Legends Marvel's A-Force Heroines 6-pack box sets. And once again I have my lovely assistant with me. Say hello.
Hi guys.
And we're going to do this review together. We are going to do all 6 in one rather than doing 6 individual reviews because they come as a box, they are a box, and most of them share the same body, so there's not too much variance apart from a bit of aesthetic look. So first thing, we'll go over the box. So, as you can see, we have the front of the packaging. You have, I'm going to see if I can remember these off the top of my head, Singularity at the top, Loki, Hazel.
Elsa.
Thank you. She-Hulk, Hazel.
Monica Rambeau.
And Lady Sif.
You sure it's Sif?
Yeah, for those who do watch by box opening, I couldn't find Sif's name on you know, I'll show you in a second. On the top of the packaging you can see the logo A-Force there. On the side of the packaging, again just a picture of all of the heads. Get back a bit please. There we go. And then on the other side of the packaging, the exact same picture again of all of their heads. And then on the bottom of the packaging, just some legal jargon there. And then finally, on the back of the packaging, you have a very cool dramatic pose for all of the figures. That actually looks very, very cool. I quite like that. No bios this time, but oh, damn, that actually does look really, really cool. This box does actually feature some nice details. Like, for example, you have up the top corner here a Toys R Us exclusive. I think it's Toys R Us. Looks like the back to front are.
Yep.
And if you open the box, Hazel, it has a nice window view. So here you can see all the figures in the packaging here. We'll go over them in a bit more detail. And then here are all the bios. So what we will do is we will bring that a bit closer. Okay, here's a close-up look at Singularity's and Sif's bio. And there's a close-up of She-Hulk and Monica Rambeau. Is that right?
Rambeau.
Right, you think Rambeau?
Yeah.
And then finally here's a close-up of Loki's and Elsa Bloodstone's bio. And here you go, is a look at all of the figures inside their packaging. And that is very, very cool to be able to see them all like that. And you can see from the back of the packaging, there's some nice, like, sparkle. Let's do a quick zoom there. Don't know how well that's coming across, but there is a nice, like, pattern of, like, galaxy at the back of the packaging, which is the same pattern as kind of throughout the entirety of, like, the edges. See it going across the edges there. Right, without further ado, let's get these good, bad girls out of the packaging and see how good they really are. Okay, there's a better look of the actual inside of the packaging. Wow, that is such a nice space effect. Could really do something good with this, like Superman or someone flying through space. Just like have a bit of a backdrop. That would be awesome. Okay, so here we have the bad girls out of the packaging. And what do we really think? Hazel, what do you think of them so far?
They're very cool.
I must admit, very, very cool. I do really like them. Which one's your favourite so far, Hazel?
I think it's still Singularity. She's just very cool and such a unique character.
What was you said? She's a
pocket universe which gains self-consciousness during, I think it was the Secret Wars.
That's amazing. I didn't even know that. Had no knowledge of this character whatsoever. So very, very cool information. For me, I think my favourite of this bunch is either Loki or Sif. I do like these figures. Yeah, Singularity is very, very cool, and she looks awesome. The two on the end, absolutely no idea about still. You said you've not come across, was it her or her?
Monica.
Monica
Rambeau.
You've not come across Monica Rambeau. Wait, wasn't that Monica Rambeau?
No, that's Elsa Bloodstone.
God damn it, I really suck. The fact that you're schooling me in comics is embarrassing. Oh.
Yeah.
But we do have a lot of reused parts here. The only thing I think is actually new here, apart from the head sculpts and some of the gear, body-wise, is going to be these coats, which the two girls at the end are wearing, and the sleeves. And the capes. Yeah, that's about it. Everything else has been reused to my knowledge. So, we have average female body with slightly larger thighs and bicep rotation, so the Miss Marvel figure basically, and I'm trying to think which other figure used that. I think the Captain Marvel figure used that as well. We have a teenage body here. We have a Angela. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Angela. And then a reuse of the red She-Hulk. But you know what? I do really love that purple in her costume. So, after we got this box set, Hazel did some research and found some actually very interesting information. Now, for me personally, really don't know a lot about the A-Force at all. Obviously, I know I'm aware of Loki, Sif, and She-Hulk, as I mentioned, but that's about it. I don't know much about his team. I've never read anything up on them or anything like that. But Hazel, what did you find?
So I was looking at the characters that come up in the A-Force comics, and ironically, Sif isn't in there at all. Which I just found really weird that she was included in the box.
So she's never once been a member of the A-Force?
Nope, not once.
That's Hasbro for you.
And nor has Elsa Bloodstone.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't hear you mention that previously.
Yeah, no, neither of them have been in the A-Force. There have been up to 50 female characters that I've seen listed, but neither of those two were in there, which I just found really strange.
You even found a list of the original members.
Yeah.
So, 1 second.
Okay, so this is the original lineup that I found. So we've got She-Hulk, Dazzler, Medusa, Nico Maru, I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure, and Singularity.
So this is the actual first original team?
The original team.
That's so cool.
So from the first comics. One thing I did find out is that Nico was actually one of the first people Singularity met. So when Singularity became conscious, she's very childlike, she really doesn't know anything, and became quite close friends with Nico.
That's very cool. Now, I know Nico from the Runaways. Obviously, there's a TV series that come out, but I have actually read the first series or first whatever few issues of the Runaways, so I was aware of Nico previously. I know her character has developed a lot further than that, but that's very cool. I did not know that about Singularity, so very, very cool. What do you guys think? Did any of you guys know this? So here we have Singularity in camouflage mode. This is Hazel's idea, and I gotta admit, I love it. It does it really cool. Obviously, you can make her out still, but wow, that's quite. I like that. I like that. Was a good shout.
And it just makes you see just sort of the idea that she is this pocket universe. She just blends into space on the backdrop there really well.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so having a quick close-up look at Singularity's detail. You can see her face. It's some nice face sculpt there, but it's quite heavy on the paint, so you can't really see much of the details actually in the sculpt. But it looks okay. Does look like her hair is a separate piece which has been glued on. But again, the hair is just really, really nice. It's very kind of floaty, almost like zero gravity, so I really like that there. And you commented that you really like the shading in the back.
Yeah, no, it's a really nice fade into the purple.
I think
it just pops a bit.
I think it could have been a bit better, like spread over, but I do like that like purpley pink. It's really, really nice. As you can see, we have the kind of like whole designer's character is these random blemishes of paint just all throughout. Bit ugly where the joints kind of can see through, but it's a transparent figure. What do you want? But yeah, really, really nice. This is basically the exact same figure we've seen with like the
White Tiger.
No, not White Tiger. The Arachnia and the Ultimate Spider-Girl, where we have the one hand fist and the one hand open like that. And again, you can see that nice sparkly detail throughout. Quite simple in all retrospect of what they've actually done. It's literally just a clear blue figure, dotted some purple, dotted some silver specks, and splodged some purple here and there. But it works, and it does it really good. And the eyes are nice and clean. I do really like that. Okay, so for articulation, Singularity has a ball disc at the head, so she can bring her head back that far and that far, and then we can rotate around 360. But you have to work with that hair. Now it is also on a ball joint, so you can get plenty of pivot in there and a little bit of rock forward and back just on that. Shoulders are on ball disc, they can go out that far, so really, really well there, and rotate around 360 degrees. Now her elbows, much like my White Tigers, are incredibly stiff, but you can get a bend of that, which is really, really nice. And you can rotate around, but the more you rotate around, the less you get. She has a wrist rotation at 360 degrees there and can hinge down that much and up that much. Now, much like most teenage female bodies in these Hasbro, very limited articulation from the chest down. So she has a diaphragm joint of that to that. So virtually nothing. Can pivot from there to there and can rotate around 360 degrees. She has T-cut hips, so with this leg all the way forward and this leg all the way back, that is her Spartan kick. She can do a split of that much, has upper thigh rotation, double bend in the knee, has a boot rotation 360 degrees. You can ankle point from there to there and pivot from there to there. Going down the side of the packaging in order, next up we have Elsa Bloodstone here. Now this, like I said, fundamentally is a reuse of the female body mould with brand new coat and brand new sculpted arms. Now there's some nice texture actually in that coat and also on the sleeves. Here's some nice texture pattern there and some like line work and patches. All in all, a really nice design for the coat, and I do really like it. She comes with a leg holster for her Magnum, which is the exact same thing as Misty Knight, as is the gun. I'll show that in a bit more detail in a second. But let's have a quick look at that face sculpt. Nice face sculpt, you know. Pretty lady. Nice, really bright, vibrant red hair there. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's really vibrant, and I love the sort of shading that they've got in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see that on the edge camera. There's a little bit of shading just in the bunch there. That's about it, really.
No, there's some in the back of the ponytail,
oh, yeah.
The fringe.
Oh, it's stand corrected. Is there white in there?
It's throughout.
I think there's a little bit of white blemish there, unfortunately. But very nice. The collar's just a painted collar, as is the top and as is the trousers. Something they've done interesting, which I've never seen Hasbro do. We've got a brand new knee joint here, where they've actually sculpted the knee pad to the knee. So when you bend that knee, it's actually part of it, which is really nice. And then she comes down and not the blue tack because we had to get a stand down and she just did not want to. Take that off. She has some laced shoes. So it's interesting, the kind of boots to here, but there's any actual like design and texture here. So then Hasbro, as per usual, cheaped out on that. But all in all, very nice design, very nice sculpt. I'm very happy with that. Now, Elsa Bloodstone comes with 3 accessories. The first accessory she comes with is a double-barreled old-fashioned shotgun. Very nice. She comes with 2 of these. They're identical in every way. Very simple design, very simple paints, not much to them, but she does hold them really nice in both hands. And then the other accessory she comes with is the Magnum. Again, we've seen this exact same thing with Misty Knight. This one is in silver instead of gold. Really nice. And this one's straight for once, whereas the one that came with Misty was completely warped. So very happy to have that. And as you saw earlier, this does fit in her pocket quite nicely. There's no storage for the shotguns. Okay, next up we have Monica Rambeau. Rambeau. I was thinking about Bow, because Rami LeBeau, yeah, you're right, it's Bow,
yeah.
Is Gambit. So yeah, that's just me and my terrible English. So, having a quick look at this one, and you can see you have a brand new face sculpt here, where she has dread thingies. I don't really know what these things are called. I think they're dreads. Quite nice sculpt in them. They are a separate piece to the actual head, and the face sculpt is actually quite clean, and the paint on the face is pretty good. Not sure if you can see, there's a little bit of paint missing on the lower of the eyelid just there, and there's a little bit of blemish of the white headband here spilling onto the hair and onto the front of the hair there. The rest of the paintwork does seem to be quite clean. There's not really much there apart from this design here. Everything else is just sculpted in solid black or white. Now she shares the exact same coat as Elsa. Yeah, I remember the name. Obviously this one is black instead of grey like that one was, and she comes with 2 hands, one open, one fisted, and then the rest of the figure is a solid black. There's not really much to say about this, but I do like the little star design thing there, and I like how it kind of contrasts. Oh, there's some white and the black there. I didn't see that till just now. That's frustrating. But yeah, all in all, really nice figure. One thing to point out, which I forgot to mention, is depending on how you pose the arm, you will see some of the other colour poking through. There's not really much you can do about that, depending on your angle.
It shows up a lot worse for Elsa.
It does show up a lot worse for Elsa. See, just by standing there. Obviously because there's an orange there, so it just pops a bit more. Now, these two share the exact same articulation, but for Elsa and Monica, head is on a ball joint. You can do a little bit of pivot, but you have to work with the hair. So you can go from the back there, and you can pivot from side to side there. Very gappy though, so a very ugly one for her. Whereas Monica, not too bad, just on that pivot. You're going to hinge all the way down like that, and up like that for Monica. For Elsa, she's got a very stiff hinge, but you can go like that, looks decapitated. And again, if you work with the hair, you do that. Now it looks like my hair is actually about to pop out. It'd be much better if I was a ball joint, you could rotate around, it'd work a lot better. Now these shoulders, the new sculpt here, now they do work pretty well, but you do have to kind of work them sometimes, so they can go all the way up that far, and you can rotate them around 360 degrees. You get a single bend in the elbow, not quite 90, and then the more you rotate around, the less you get. Now for Elsa, this hand, she has a wrist articulation of that, whereas this hand of that. Now one thing that worries me about these wrists is they do stick out just a little bit too far, so I'm a bit worried about putting too much pressure on the pegs, especially for Monica over there. The rest of it's standard female body, so she has a diaphragm joint, can go forward that much and back only that much due to the coat. Bit of pivot from there to there, and can rotate around 360, but you really have to work with that coat. Now this is a softer plastic, so it doesn't really hinder the articulation, but with this leg all the way forward, as you can see. But yeah, with this leg all the way forward and this leg all the way back, single Spartan kick of that, split kick of only that, up thigh rotation 360 degrees, and double bend in the knee of that, no boot rotation, and she's got heels, so she can do an ankle point from there to there, and a pivot, and pivot from there to there. Whereas Monica can point from there to there. Man, pivot did not want to go. Pivot from there into there. So up next we have the towering lady in green herself, the massive, the mighty She-Hulk. Don't know why I said that. Very, very nice face sculpt here. Now I don't actually own the original Toy Biz one. I was actually about to get that one a few months ago, but I chose not to, and I'm happy I didn't, because that was before I decided to get this pack. This is a repaint of the red She-Hulk. Also the top is different, but fundamentally...
Face and hair are different too.
Well, okay, face, hair, top and hands are different. Everything else is a repaint. But I don't mind that, you know, it's a bulky figure. The only thing I did not like about this figure is the same thing I don't like about this figure is those pesky hip joints, but we'll go over that in articulation. But the face sculpt on this She-Hulk is really, really nice. The line work seems to be quite clean. There's a slight blemish just there on her belly button and a bit there. But all in all, pretty clean. Oh, another bit there on the glove. But I love that purple. Just, that pearlescent purple is just absolutely gorgeous. She's got like a bit of a line from the marbling just over her boob. It's a bit unfortunate. And then you've got just some simple painted white boots and gloves. All really nice. There's a little bit of green in hair. It just about comes through. But it does look quite nice, and I am very happy with that. Okay, She-Hulk. No actual disc, but she only works on a ball peg, so she can only move her head forward that much, back that much. No pivot really worth speaking of. And you can rotate around, but the hair is a very hard plastic, so you are going to have to work with that to get it go all the way around. Shoulders are on borders, so they can go around 360 degrees, and they can go up quite far. And then you have a bicep rotation. Now, I'm a bit worried that peg feels a bit small, so be careful of that. You also have an elbow rotation, so you can rotate around 360 degrees there. And very stiff single bend in the elbow, just under 90. Wrist rotation 360 degrees from there, and can pivot from there to there. Have a diaphragm joint going back that far, forward that far. Can pivot from there to there and rotate around full 360 degrees, but that's very ratchety for me. Let's just catch on that. No waist cut, not teacup hips. This is my frustration. So her hips actually go like right up there. So there's, see the peg going like that. I hate that. So disappointed when I first got the red She-Hulk. But with that leg all the way forward and this leg all the way back, that is her Spartan kick. Working with this. That is her split kick. You can potentially do it further actually if you rotate them around all the way. Rotate, 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 rotate. There you go. And of course you've seen upper thigh rotation. Double bend in the knees. And then she can ankle point from there to there with a pivot from there to there. Next up in the box we have Lady Sif. Now this is a really, really nice figure. I'm very happy to finally have this. Will add nicely to my Asgardians. Just need to get a few more of them. She has the crown kind of helmet thing, which is a softer plastic, but quite nicely sculpted and painted. For my one, or our one, the red, well, the red diamond thing is painted just off a little bit, so it's a little bit to the left there, unfortunately, because I can see the sculpted line there. But the rest of the paint does seem to be quite clean. Now this is again another reuse of the figure we've had previously, which is Angela, yeah, I was going to say Angelica for some reason. Basically, the arms, from the elbows down, exactly the same. From the torso just here down, exactly the same. Obviously new skirt on this one, and this one has a cape, and that's about it. But I don't mind that because it works, because she's supposed to be bigger, and Angela is a bigger figure than a standard 6-inch. But the skirt is really nice and a very, very soft plastic, so it's not going to get in the way of any articulation. The sculpt on the legs, like I said, same as Angela, really, really nice, and there's a little bit of paint there just on the actual feet. The cape is a new design for Hasbro capes. It doesn't peg in. They normally always peg in. This just literally clips onto the shoulders. So it adds a good thing and a bad thing. One, it sits very naturally, good. Bad is it hinders the articulation because this is a very tough plastic, but it does look really, really nice, and that fur is absolutely gorgeous. No paint in the hair whatsoever or on the actual cape, and she does come with the one sword, and as you see, it's a very simple design, but it does fit in the hand quite nicely, and there's even a little space to store it on her person. If I can get her out of the way, just like that. Okay, next up we have Lady Sif. So the head is on a ball joint, so you can get a little bit of rock in it, but not really much. Will rotate 360, but the hair is very hard, so you are going to have to fight with that, so good luck. Barely can get to turn, in honesty. But you can look down that far and up only that far. Shoulders are on ball discs, but as I said earlier, the cape does hinder it quite a lot, so you can only really bring it up to there without the cape being in the way. If you took the cape off, then you can go around 360 degrees. So we're going to take the cape off for the rest of the review, or for the rest of the articulation. They can go out that far. Single bend in the elbow. Now this is a floating piece, so you can move it either up here or down there, wherever you want. And it will rotate round at the elbow, but the more you go around, the less you get. Now this isn't a floating piece, this is a hard piece, so your wrists are very restricted. You can rotate them round, but you are going to have to work with it. But she does have articulation, you can bend it down that far. Now this wrist is different. She has the roll of the dice, as Sean Price says, so she can pivot it that far. She has a diaphragm joint, so she can go forward that far, which is quite nice. Back that far. You can pivot from there to there and rotate around 360 degrees. No waist articulation, but she does have T-cut hips, so she can bring this leg all the way forward. And that is her Spartan kick. Splits of that. Has upper thigh rotation. Like you see, this doesn't hinder at all. Double bend in the knees. Then ankle point from there to there and pivot from there to there. So next up we have got Loki. I do really like the crown and the jewels or design in the actual hair. What do you think of them?
I'm not a big fan of the jewels in the hair, but I think that's just a personal preference. But I think the crown looks really cool.
Imagine that'd be a pain in the backside to get out.
I don't know, depends how they're attached.
Well, can you imagine if they're not actually there on purpose? She's like, God damn it, every time I go to work I come back with crap in my hair. All in all, quite a nice sculpt on the face there. A little bit of a plastic blemish just there on the chin, unfortunately. I might try and scrape that away at some point. And the fur coat, same as Sif's. It's identical, but just a different colour. Really, really nicely sculpted there. And there's a little bit of paint. I don't know how it's not really coming over. My light's making it a bit yellow for some reason. It's actually more of a creamy colour. But it is really, really nice. And it is coming over quite nice. Very kind of, what colour would you call that? Like a musty yellow. Yeah, musty yellow for the actual cape itself. And then for the actual body, there's some nice painted scales. I wish they were sculpted, but unfortunately not. Just some painted scales for the arms, torso and thighs. Not even complete covered in, because look, there's a complete break there, which is just lazy for Hasbro, but it's Hasbro. And then of course you do have the belt, which is actually really, really nice. Again, you've got those little kind of metal things that are in the hair and on the flaps of the actual belt. All in all, pretty nice there. Pretty nice. And then you have the boots, which are a bit more of a lighter mustardy kind of colour.
Yeah.
And these are floating knee pieces. I think, if I remember right, these are identical to Rogue's ones, but I couldn't find my Rogue, so I can't show that to you. And she does have some black nail polish, which is pretty nice. And then that same green does kind of carry over to the hand there. I'm right over to the right there, I don't know why. And there's nothing in the knees going down, just simple plastic. But yeah, really do like this. All in all, very, very, very cool. Now, this is one that uses a different body mould. It's because this one actually has a bicep rotation. So this is the same body mould, as I mentioned previously, as the Ms. Marvel figure, which we first got this in the 3-pack with Captain America and, I want to say Radioactive Man. That sounds right. Could be wrong on that. Okay, so the final member of the bunch, Loki here. Head is on a ball. You can get a little bit of pivot in it, a little bit forward, a little back, and there is a hinge in there as well, but you really can't utilise it because that hair is very, very solid. Very frustrating. Same as Sif, I'm going to take the cape off for the help with the articulation. So the shoulders can go around 360 degrees and they can go up that far. We do have a bicep rotation, very nice. Single bend in the elbow, very tight. Hasbro, come on, do this for every freaking female. It works, it's perfect. Wrist rotation 360 degrees and can hinge from there to there. And then a diaphragm joint here, so you can go forward that much, back that much. Can pivot from there to there and rotate around 360 degrees. No waist articulation. Teacup hips, so with this leg all the way forward and this leg all the way back, so you can do a Spartan kick of that. Split kicks of only that. Upper thigh rotation 360 degrees and a double bend in the knee. This is, like I said, floating piece, so you are going to have to work with it a little bit. And then she can point her ankle from there to there and do a pivot from there to there. Okay, so for their size, Loki comes to the top of her head 6.5 inches tall, which is 16 centimeters. To the top of her horns 6.5 inches, which is 16.5 centimeters. Monica, I can't see. Phone's in the way. Monica comes to 6.25 inches tall, which is 16 centimeters. Sif comes to 6.75 inches tall, which is just over 17 centimeters. She-Hulk comes to 7 inches tall, which is just under 18 centimeters. I can't go any closer. Swap hands. Okay. Elsa comes to the top of her head, just under 6 inches tall, which is 15 centimeters, but the top to her hair, just under 6.5 inches tall, which is 16.5 centimeters. And then Singularity, I was going to say Serenity for some reason, to the top of her head is just over 5 inches tall, which is, it's really hard to see. Top of her head, which is just over 13 centimeters. Top of her hair, though, just under 6 inches tall, which is 15 centimeters. It blows my mind a bit. There's been 50 members. I don't think the X-Men's had that many members. Well, probably actually X-Men have had that many members.
Probably.
And then some.
There's a lot of crossover.
Yeah, but I still think that's very, very interesting, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Very surprising. And I do love the fact that, like you said, Bloodstone and Sif were not part of it.
Yeah. So I just don't get why they're included in this.
But Loki has definitely been part of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you saying that. There's also a Dazzler 4, which we both thought, wait, what? That seems insane.
Yeah.
Dazzler, a 4 version of Dazzler? That blew my mind. Okay, so, final thoughts. What do we think of these figures? And I can't just say we, I mean we.
Yeah.
So, Hazel, what do you think? Is this set good? Would you say this is a must pick up or worthwhile pick up? Do you have any problems with this wave? Is there anything in there you're like, no, it's absolutely rubbish?
No, I love this. There are a lot of characters that I want to know more about, so it's made me really want to actually go read the comics for the A-Force and find out a bit more about them. But I love the characters, I love the designs. I especially love Singularities, I'm sure you've all gathered by now. I have to say, I'm not a big fan of Loki.
Which is ironic, because I think she might be my favourite.
Yeah, she just does nothing for me. I think she's a great figure, but aesthetically, I just don't like her.
For me, my least favourite is She-Hulk. It's just, the arms I think seem a little bit out of proportion, like they're a little bit short. I hate those hips. Oh god, I hate those hips so much. I always meant to do a custom job on the Red She-Hulk, but I never got around to it. So, I don't know. But I do really like the detail, the paint, and the sculpt in Loki. And I think she does have one of the nicer faces there. Excuse me.
Which is ironic, because it's the one I probably hate out of all those face sculpts.
Well, there you go, guys. Two complete different opinions there. But let us know what you think. Which one of these do you really like? Are you interested in getting a set? Well, actually, that's a good point. Would we recommend this set then?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with that. Even though I'm not a fan, I do like the She-Hulk. I'm happy to have a She-Hulk. It's just not the best version that they could have done. They could have done a much better version. They could tweak some things. They could have taken the hips from Sif here, or Angela, and just worked from that. They could have then done the torso on top of that and it would have been a much better figure, which is most likely what I'm probably going to do. But yeah, I do think this is a great set and I do really, really like this as a whole. But was it worth the money?
How much?
So total this cost us about 115, I think, total. Might be 120 because I think there was some custom charges as well, total. And figuring it out roughly, if it's 115, that's about just under £20 a figure.
So yeah,
That's,
pretty good
that's
value.
not bad. That's actually cheaper than buying a brand new Marvel Legends from a store.
Yeah.
So you can't really argue with that. So yeah, I agree. I would definitely recommend this pack. I think it is a really good pack, really solid line of figures, and they do have some. Each one has their own uniqueness and coolness. Very interested to find out why she's just got shotguns though.
Yes, see, if anyone knows anything about Monica or Elsa, I'd love to know more. Because I've not really come across them before this.
Same. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you did like this review. Sorry if it was a bit long-winded, but of course there was a lot to go over. I will try and crop this down as quick and short as possible. Maybe cut out some bits not needed. But we do appreciate your patience. And if you have got to the end of this video, thank you ever so much for that. Why am I praying? My hands are together. I'm praying. I don't know why. But once again, thank you to the amazing assistant here, Hazel. Hope you did enjoy her input. That was some great information there which I didn't know, so I appreciate it if no one else did. And hopefully she's going to join me in some more videos if you guys are enjoying this. But thanks for watching. Say goodbye, Hazel.
Bye, guys.
And we're going to catch you in that next one. See ya.